everybody had a lot of love for you, but with Colby Covington, despite, him sort of being, I would say, a good promoter and obviously working hard to promote
He's not a
fights.
good promoter. He's a very average promoter.
But do you think if he's put himself in an interesting position where he said so much stuff about the UFC where they may not be as keen to give him another title shot? Because if he has the belt, he's sort of got a lot of leverage.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Colby's too stupid to understand how to play his cards. He's an average promoter. He's someone who puts a lot of effort into it, but is not really, really good at it. So there's someone like a George Masvidal or a Nate Diaz. These are great examples of guys who do not put a lot of effort into promotion, but yet they still come out kind of looking good sometimes. And then Colby puts a lot of effort into it, but he's not sharp enough to say the right things at all the right times. And then number two, he's also not smart enough to understand the leverage he has or doesn't have with the UFC.
I'm wondering, what is the key to good promotion in your mind? Because you're a guy who did it well, and you've got an eye for these things. If you could pull the curtain back, what's the key to good promotion?
Well, so what? I mean, it's just like George Masvidal. I think he's kind of a dum-dum, but that's kind of besides the point. But sometimes you accidentally fall into saying something like the three-piece in the soda he said with Leon Edwards, right? Like that just went over. People loved it. But one of the key things, I think Conor is one of the best at this, is reading the crowd and knowing what you have to say next. Like if you think about the time, man, I'm blanking on which fight it was, but it's a post-fight speech. He says, and he's kind of like talking. He says, "I would like to apologize too." And you think about, okay, well, who's he going to apologize to? And he says, absolutely effing no one.
Yeah.
God, he nailed that. I'm not even really a Conor fan, but he freaking nailed it, And so it's like sometimes you have to feel the energy and the emotion in the room and kind of play to it. And that's where Colby really misses, in my opinion.
I suppose. I don't want to say it's trash talk.
He's terrible too. He's terrible.
I was going to ask your thoughts. What do you make of this whole who thing? He was like, who is Jorge? He was trying not to sort of acknowledge him and pretending like he doesn't know who he is.
Because it's like he's not funny when he says it. So okay, obviously we know it's a lie, right? So, but sometimes you can go ahead and say things that everyone knows it's a lie, but if you say it in a really funny way, people can kind of laugh at it. But he's not funny at all, right? And everyone knows he's lying. That's obvious. The one where I think Usman is like the worst promoter in the history of mixed martial arts, because for me, here's what. Colby is literally the most hated promoter, personality, fighter in the UFC, right? And so when Usman's going against him, it's like, okay, you got the bad guy Colby, and then you got Usman, who all he has to do is he's got to play the good guy, and everyone's going to love him, and everyone's going to cheer for him, right? But Usman just could not figure out how to make people like him. He just couldn't figure it out. It would be so easy to make Colby the bad guy. He's already the bad guy. He already plays the bad guy. It's so simple. Just play into that, and you're the good guy. You're the face. Everyone loves you. But Usman couldn't figure out how to do it.
I was interested because Conor McGregor was sort of mentioning Usman during the UFC 246 fight week, and the camera even cut to Usman at one point during the post-fight speech, and it didn't look like Usman never acknowledged Conor McGregor or anything like that. Do you think that was a big mistake on his part, not sort of trying to run with it a little bit, possibly for the future?
I think I'm blanking on exactly what he did, but it was probably something.
He was trying to file his nails when they cut.
Yeah, he was trying to act like he didn't care. Okay, you shut up. I mean, that was absurd. That's what it was. It was totally absurd.
It's interesting.
I mean, he probably knows. At least maybe he's halfway intelligent enough to understand that he's not going to get that fight. I mean, McGregor's not going to fight Usman next because nobody knows who Usman is. He's going to take a bigger fight.